Quorum, we're going to call this meeting to order. And the general calendar just got totally flipped upside down, so y'all can disregard that yellow sheet. So on the floor, we left off at Senate Bill 147. I'm going to put that on tomorrow. Senate Bill 171 will be back on tomorrow. Senate Bill 324 will be back on tomorrow. Senate Bill 368 will be back on tomorrow. Senate Bill 402 will be back on tomorrow. Senate Bill 433, Senate Bill 450, Senate Bill 473, SR 570, SR 583, SR 609. All right, new yellow sheet. Who's got Senator Watson, Senate Bill 293?
This is a department bill, has to do with,
DPH?
oh, it has to do, yes, with DPAs, Department of Public, thank you for that cue. Has to do with hiring and firing relating to that. It has minor changes. The district health director would be recommended to the county boards of health, and they would have the final yay or nay. So that's a very minor change, actually. And we made some minor changes in who the director can be, has to have a master's.
Any questions for the author? I'll save you there.
Thank you.
All right, Senate Bill 421, Senator Dixon.
Yeah, they're numerical order.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working off my own sheet, not the yellow sheet.
Okay.
So
Construction and public administration. You said 421?
421.
I should have got my thing, Bill.
Yeah, this is the swatting bill, anti-swatting bill. It increases the penalties for that offense.
Okay. All right. Senate Bill 455 and 456. Senator Strickland, are you with us? Yes, sir. There you are, Judiciary Chairman.
Senate Bill 455 and 456 are both Department of Community Health bills. 455 deals with federal compliance with federal law with authorization for medical services for third-party payers under the Medicaid program, and Senate Bill 456 allows individuals caring for folks that are disabled to take advantage of our caregiver registry.
Any questions?
You want the rest of mine, or is that all I got today?
I think that's good.
That's probably enough for today.
Yeah. Senate Bill 465, Senator Goodman, our good ag chair. To the podium you go, sir. Could you remove your sunglasses? We have a decorum in here. Strict
Absolutely,
decorum.
Mr. Chairman. Senate Bill 465, Lieutenant Governor's Bill, fentanyl bill.
Your tags, it needs to be straight too, please. Thank you.
How about my hair?
Oh, you just messed it up. Put it back.
How's that?
All right, you're perfect.
Senate
Wait,
Bill,
your pen's not, the arch needs to be going up. Yeah, there, all right, you got it. All right, go.
can I strike a pose?
Ooh.
Senate Bill 465, that's Lieutenant Governor's fentanyl bill, creates a new class for crime aggravated involuntary manslaughter.
Okay.
Seeks to address the fentanyl epidemic that we have. It's named Austin's Law after a young man in my district who died from taking fentanyl.
Okay. Any questions for the author? All right. Senator Hickman, you here? Let's see. Senator Cowser, you got SB 520. It's like a DHS agency bill, and SR 579. I'm going to cover those.
Sure try to. I'm number 5. The 520, I mentioned at last meeting, is just conforming Georgia law to federal law revolving to child support recovery. Instead of calling them income deduction, we're calling them income withholding orders now.
Okay.
And the next one you said was SR 579. That is a constitutional amendment for sports betting that we've been rounding around the block on many times. It's the same bill from last year. It just changes where the money goes to conform with the bill we passed a few weeks ago.
Okay. Good stuff. All right, Senator Kirkpatrick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm back with Senate Bill 307, which is probably sounding real familiar to y'all by now. It's a fast track for helping patients get their treatments and medications approved.
All right, just one?
Well, I've got another one, but it's not on the sheet.
Oh, okay. You can cover it if you want.
Okay. Well, it's Senate Bill
We're
330.
used to hearing multiple bills from you.
I know,
anyway.
I
don't
know.
want
It's Senate Bill
deprive the committee.
336 that went through regulated industries, and it has to do with out-of-state licensure for mental health professionals.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Senator Hatchett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here to present Senate Bill 515, which is a pilot program for EMS. It's a 2-year pilot program, and it addresses the shortage that we have in rural communities when ambulances have to take people to Atlanta. It's about 6 hours they're offline. This can help fill the gap.
All right, any questions?
Thank you.
Senator Payne. I'm just gonna go down the line. Got another one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here for present Senate Bill 255, which amends Title 16 regarding the prohibition of illegal gambling on dogfighting, simply to add gang pox to the statute.
I can't believe nobody's picked that yet.
Come on, come on.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Senator Watson of the Sam.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got Senate Bill 494, it's the Georgia Hemp Farming Act. It's a department bill creating some licenses for our hemp industry. Flip over to the next page. I've also got Senate Bill 495. This is on the low THC oil patient registry. It's just requiring the Department of Public Health to mail identification cards to people who use that product.
Okay.
That's it.
Any questions? Hearing none.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Harvin. Oh, Lord. I am. I'm not a Satanist. I can pray.
Yes, sir.
I could be a
New
chaplain.
page 5 top is SB 501. Foundation of All Laws is a bill that recognizes that the Ten Commandments should be one of the documents that our schools are allowed to teach, and also would post the Ten Commandments within the classes within the state of Georgia at the cost of the, not the cost of the government, but voluntary payment on that. Page 2 is SB 378, is increasing the penalties for sex trafficking of children and changing that penalty to 30 years and life for those children 18 and under. And then SB 381 is assuring quality in government, is a survey for agencies, so that when you finish with a call with a state agency, you will be asked questions of, were they kind and courteous? Did they resolve your problem when you recommend them for a job? And how long were you held on hold from that standpoint? One agency, we had a survey done, the average hold time was 3.5 hours. So those are the ones that I have, sir.
You want to cover Senate Bill 308 as well?
And 308, excuse me.
Your retirement bill?
Yes, retirement bill is this. It takes the amounts that is currently in place for someone 65 and older, 10 years of service. It moves it from $28 to $50 for a year of service, and also includes both those that are already retired and those that are going to retire with that increase. And it is 134% funded already, and this brings it to 107% actuarially. Met with the auditors, and he said there's no problem, no additional funds would be there. We already fund that personally from our salaries. It's funded, and only if it goes below 100 does the state put money on.
Any questions? Hey, let's get some order in here. No questions.
Thank you,
did
sir.
a fine job. Senator James?
Thank you.
handouts.
Mr. Chairman, members, I'm speaking on Senate Bill 407, which is the Rashad Danielle Hurd Act. I passed around a program that's barely 3 months old now, but my niece came home from visiting her dad at the hospital, and she had her son with her and one other person, and as they got out of the car, this person who she was 4 months pregnant for came out of the back of the bushes and shot her dead. She had called the police over the past 3 months at least 9 times. She had gotten a, what do you call it, where you can't be within so many feet? Protective order, twice in the past few years. Against him, one had expired. When I talked to many other people a few years ago about domestic violence, one of the biggest problems was that they call the police, and if they are not getting beat to death right then, or if the person is gone, then they don't do anything about it. So this bill would just record that they have been called to that house for domestic violence, for fighting or beating or whatever. But she was a pretty young lady, too young to die. And, you know, in light of the staggering statistics that have underscored this urgent need for action, I'm standing before you to bring this bill 407 because 35.1% of women and 39.9% of men experience physical violence, sexual violence, and or stalking from their current or former intimate partners. There are around 40,000 incidents of domestic violence each year in Georgia. Senate Bill 407 will aim to address this crisis head-on by enhancing the law enforcement response to family violence incidents and ensuring detailed documentation of incident reports. So with this critical legislation, we can better protect victims, hold criminals accountable, work toward eradicating family violence from our communities, and make sure that every family receives the protection and justice that they deserve. So, ladies and gentlemen of the Rules Committee and Mr. Chairman, I ask for your favorable consideration, and I thank you.
Any questions from the committee?
Yes.
Any?
Thank you. Please consider.
Senator Rep?
I know where I'm at.
Right here.
Actually, today I am jumping around. FYI.
I'm gonna get out your way.
All right, where are we at? Senator Setzler. I'm just going down the rows here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the Rules Committee. Page 4, third bill from the top is Senate Bill 470. What this bill does is it allows landlords to put a freeze on their vacant properties so that if someone comes in and tries to take over, which routinely called a squatter, they can be immediately removed by law enforcement.
Water and swatter bill. Okay, any questions? Good stuff. Anything else?
That's it, Mr. Chairman. I got more, but it's not on the sheet, so.
Oh, shucks. Maybe next time. Maybe tomorrow. Actually, we're not having rules tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Let's see what we can do. Depends, though. If we table everything, or if we adjourn early tomorrow, then it just throws the whole thing for a loop. And I don't know what to do. We have plans, and they get thrown out the window, and here we are. But I'm okay. So, thank you. Exactly. We adjust.
Senate Bill 470. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Senator Eccles.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm here with Senate Bill 383. It's a T-Splosh bill. I think everybody in here probably knows what happened this past summer with T-Splosh in Hall County. This bill will change the threshold for an IGA from 100% of the cities to 50% of the cities. It's kind of a compromise between ACCG and GMA. Any questions?
That's my job. That's all I get to do. Any questions?
I'm just trying to be efficient.
I know. We're not fast enough for you?
Whatever you like.
Okay. You just lost my vote for best dressed. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. I'm boycotting the whole thing anyway. I should have been in that. I should be in the running. All right, Senator Estevez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You make that podium look really small.
It is quite small, actually.
It's huge to me.
I have two bills here. SB 469, which more than doubles the limit for 529 plans. I'm sure all of you are familiar with those. Those are education savings accounts, and college savings or college tuition has doubled in the last 30 years. Our 529 limit in Georgia has stayed the same, and our neighboring states are close to 500,000, if not more, and Georgia should be right up there with them. And then along similar lines, 484 is the HSA bill. It passed unanimously out of the Senate, nearly unanimously out of the House, and it was vetoed by the governor because of concerns of a potentially $200,000 to $300,000 implementation fee to get HSAs taken out of state employees' paychecks on a pre-tax basis. And if you all recall, that saves employees time and money, but it also saves the state payroll taxes. So it's a savings for employees, savings for the state.
Did you tell him that this time around?
I did. And
What'd he say?
That things have
Just
changed
curious.
since last year.
Things have changed?
Things have changed.
Okay. Good or bad?
And obviously, I did not speak to him. I don't.
You go straight to him.
I think you go straight to him. I spoke to his staff.
I can't go straight to him. I got to Senator Hatchett. The minority leader has a enlightening question.
On this, as it reads, it says it provide for educational salary reduction. Should that be deduction, not reduction?
And on the bill, it says reductions.
Salary reduction?
Yes, I can check that out with legislative counsel.
We got a question from the majority whip over here.
Senator Estevez, so you said things have changed, so are you getting a different response from the staff in the governor's office that's saying if this should get to his desk, there's a possibility he will not veto it this time?
Yes, correct.
Okay, just want to be clear on that. Yeah.
So much is changing.
I just wanted to make sure everybody
No, I
understands.
agree.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Senator Halpern,
I mean, who wants to waste a vote?
you've been on fire here lately.
Yes. I'm going to talk about two bills. SB 182 is on the first page. This is a bill that defines doxing. If you don't know what doxing is, it's when a person intentionally posts another person's personally identifying information without their consent and does so with reckless disregard for whether or not that would cause them harm, injury, stalking, death. And so it creates the definition in our code along with establishing it as a misdemeanor or a felony, depending on how one progresses through continuing to do that work.
We had that issue last year on the police training
You
center.
did.
They were posting the
Addresses
police
of
officers.
the.
Yeah.
So on the the public safety training facility here in Atlanta, two things. One, Atlanta City Council people who voted yes to move forward on that bill, their addresses were all posted on a website with the refrain to make them tremble, and also addresses of the officers, but not just officers, but the companies that were actually doing the work on the training facility. Those folks also had people coming to their homes.
That's right.
So those are great examples of doxing and a reason why we need to do something about it. The second bill is SB 396. That bill would create establish a Georgia music office. It's on page 2, subject to appropriations. Currently, there is not a dedicated person focused on selling and marketing Georgia's music industry. This office would still sit under the Georgia Department of Economic Development, as our film office does, but it would really be specifically geared towards promoting economic growth and prosperity for music within the state.
I have a constituent that called me today about that.
This bill.
She is building a world-class recording studio in the heart of my district, so she's
Yeah.
very interested.
Yes.
Tina Clark, y'all should all come down and see Dunaway Gardens when it's completed.
Well, I hope we'll get
You
to
have an open invitation from Frank Ginn.
I hope we'll get to take it up on the Senate floor. But that's it for me, just those two.
You got a question
Oh, I
here
do.
from Senator Walker.
Yes.
I'm kind of slow here, but on Senate Bill 484, the reason the caption says reduction, when you sign up for a IRA plan, a 401k plan, a HSA plan, you have to sign an employee salary reduction agreement with your employer to allow them to withhold that money from your paycheck. So that's why it's in the caption that way. It's an employee salary reduction agreement.
Yes, that was like 8 bills ago, but thank you. But thank you. So, I want to wish my daughter a happy birthday. It was October 6th of last year. So, thank y'all for indulging me there. But thank you. Your input is valuable. Senator Jackson. Oh, well, happy birthday. Should we sing happy birthday? Let's do it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gloria. Happy birthday to you. 3 months ago. Yeah, all right. Anybody else's birthday we missed from last year? That's too soon. It's too soon. We'll congratulate him on day 40. That's all right. All right, moving on. Senator Jackson.
Mr. Chairman, my bill is not on the yellow form. Does that matter to you?
What you got?
I have SB 498. It is a bill that creates an interagency council on homelessness. The bill has heard and come out of rules. I don't know why it's not on your form, but would love for it to be
It
considered.
came out of
for-
rules?
No, sorry, it came out of committee. I
Okay.
misspoke. My apologies.
Okay.
So it's SB 498, creates an interagency council on homelessness. I've had great support from people around this table, and it costs no money at all.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you. Senator Hickman, come on up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Senate Bill 497, which is another workforce development bill. And this bill expands the high-demand career apprenticeship program that is handled by the TCSG. It actually moves it from 5 apprenticeships per company, from 10 apprenticeships company at $5,000 to $5,000 at 10. It's a workforce development bill.
You know, Workforce Development Day was today, so, but
Yes.
in honor of Senator Walker, we're doing things a little bit late today, so your timing is perfect.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. Get you back for that school bus comment. All right, Senator Hodges.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got two agency bills for the Georgia Healthcare Workforce Board, 480 and 481. 480 basically is an attempt to increase mental health workers in underserved areas by providing student debt relief to people who agree to serve in those areas. That is subject to appropriation. And 481 establishes a data system so that citizens can visit the Georgia Healthcare Workforce Board website and ascertain healthcare providers' information for providers in their geographical area. That's
Okay.
it.
Any questions? They're both agency bills. Which agency?
Georgia Healthcare Workforce Board.
Is that an agency or a board?
Well, I guess it's a board. It's a board. These are board bills.
Board. We can't just throw
And then not
agency
only are
out
they
there.
board bills, they're boring bills too.
Yeah, I hear you. We gotta have disclaimers on our boards now. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Sarah Goodman? Once again, somebody late to the party. I know, we're coming.
I was so disabled earlier, Mr. Chairman, I just thought I better do it again. Senate Bill 474. I think every member of the Rules Committee has probably co-sponsored this bill, but it was a bill that we drafted along with the help of the Judiciary Chairman addressing these solicitations that are going out. These are just some of them that I've received from my constituents. I have one here where this is a purchase agreement that has if we don't pass this bill, it would be legally binding. They offered me $10,997 for a tract of land that is appraised at $520,000. And so in this bill, we've sought to, when people send out these mailers, it'll have a big disclaimer that says it may or may not be reflective of market value. If it's below the county assessed tax value, then it's going to have a big disclaimer that says this offer is for less than a county assessed tax value. And there was an elderly lady in South Georgia that sold 200 acres for $36,000 through this stuff. And so we're trying to protect our vulnerable population. The bill also addresses fraud that's going on with quitclaim deeds. I could go on and on, but anyway, be glad to take any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions? I don't see any.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. You got one, Senator Anderson? Go
On
for
top
it.
of that letter, could you say, I'm trying to rob you?
I think it may be more fitting, Senator. I do, Mr. Chairman. Absolutely. There was actually
I
a.
want to say something else, but I'm not.
Sir?
I want to say something else, but go on.
Okay.
Go on.
Tell him, Dean, go on.
Does anybody else on the committee have a bill on the sheet you'd like to cover? Senator Albers, 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I get Senate Bill 363 allows the GIPSTIC police officers who are trainers to be able to respond in time of need throughout the state. I've got Senate Bill 417. That is the department bill for Insurance and Safety Fire Commissioner. It did clarify that this will in no way interrupt my friend Senator Walker's neighborhood fireworks show each year. And then Senate Bill 472 is an update to the Inform Act for organized retail crime.
All right, any questions? Hang on one second. Senator Summers, you got a bill you want to discuss? Sorry, I couldn't see over that big old head.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two bills, just to bring your attention to Senate Resolution 454. That's the Senate resolution on the ACCG about the derelict properties that ACCG, GEMA, and the Georgia Realtors, no one has had any objections to that, and they want to get derelict properties back on the record. This is how your county commissioners can do it. All your county commissioners are for that bill. That's Senate resolution. And of course, Senate Resolution 579, Mr. Chairman, that is the bill that everybody in Georgia wants to vote on. They want to vote whether you allow gaming casinos in Georgia and sports betting in Georgia. And that is 579. I could go over it if you need me to.
Hey, go back to your Senate resolution, the ACCG. What number do you have that?
I've got it at LC 43266.
I don't have LCs. What bill number?
Oh, 454.
You sure?
On the yellow sheet?
SR 454 is shown as a right to register and vote. Senator Williams.
I apologize. No, sir. I don't have the yellow sheet with you. I'm sorry.
Okay. You don't know the number?
No,
though?
sir.
Okay. Got a question?
Chairman Summers, do you say that Senate Resolution 579 is the casino and sports betting? That's what he said.
That's what he said. Excuse me, that'd be considered a calendar bill. That'd be yours. Let me, you want me to talk it up for you? I'd be more than happy to talk it up for you.
I'd love to have you vote.
He's trying to sabotage your bill, Mr. Chairman.
Well, I wouldn't mind coming back on the yellow sheet, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Yeah, no. Senate Resolution 82, is that maybe yours? Tax Commissioner waives certain delinquent and ad valorem property taxes. That's your ACCG resolution? Okay, 82. Yeah, I'm just, yes, yes, okay. No, I was just clear, I didn't want to confuse the committee. I didn't want to confuse the board. All right, Senator Robertson, you got a bill.
Yes, sir. SB 413 is the elections bill that gives municipalities and counties certain dates they can hold elections to increase property taxes to maintain voter turnout.
Senator Dolezal, you're recognized for two
library bills. Mr. Chairman, Senate Bill 154 removes public schools from the obscenity exemption in Georgia and gives it an affirmative defense as well. And then Senate Bill 365 would establish a statewide opt-in option for parents to be notified of what their children's check out of school libraries.
Okay. You got Senator Kennedy?
Thank you. Senate Bill 414 is just a good bill to help charities. It relates to donor privacy for charities and prevents them from government overreach and just continues to keep people encouraged to give to charities so that they can keep doing their good work. 414, good bill.
Good bill, good bill.
Thank you.
Any questions? Senator Dixon?
SB 395, it just increases the availability of opioid anti-agents in schools to protect kids, like Narcan.
I thought we just heard that in HHS today. Is that similar to, I know, is that similar to Sharon?
I think the House bill's got
Chair
something
Lady
to do
Cooper's?
with having like some type of like vending machine type. I think it's a bit different.
Okay, so it's not related.
No.
Okay.
Somewhat, maybe.
Just wanted the chairman to know I was paying attention during this committee. Yeah, yeah. I was. Senator Anna Vitarte.
I'll be brief because it's late.
What are you on, one?
I'm on number one.
Okay.
Senate Bill 347, adding a third judge to the Tallapoosa Circuit. Senate Bill 346, the Department of Administrative Services bill banning Iranian contracts with the state of Georgia. And Senate Bill 524, certification of community health workers through public health.
All right, any questions? All right, anybody else? Senator Walker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before this agency a Senate Bill 390. The once revered American Library Association, founded in the 1800s, unfortunately has been commandeered by a bunch of radical extremist Marxists, and we want to not send any Georgia taxpayer dollars to support the American Library Association, a private nonprofit trade association. Thank you.
How do you really feel about it? All right, any questions? Is there anybody else that would like to discuss a bill or a resolution? Where?